Hey everyone, welcome to your Autumn Equinox Pick a Leaf reading. I'm excited to bring these to you for this 3-month period, and it's actually a part 2 of two of these videos that I'm doing. The first one was actually back on August 8th, and those were the Lion's Gate portal readings. Those were letting you know what you were surrendering to or what you were getting ready to surrender, and that energy has been working since August 8th up until this reading, which will be from September 22nd to December 21st for this year. And these readings are going to be out, because autumn, fall, what is falling away out of your life to make room for the new. So I will go ahead and put the link for the Lion's Gate portal readings in the description box below, and also a link to the playlist at the end of this video, just to make it convenient for you there. So I would definitely go check those out if you haven't already, just to see what energies we're bringing you into this autumn equinox period. And as I mentioned, this is a pick a leaf reading, so you do have a choice between 3 different leaves, or 2 or 3, as many as you want. We don't limit it here, but if you want to choose the red leaf, that's reading number 1. The orange leaf will be reading number 2, and the yellow leaf will be reading number 3. Number 1 we're going to do first, and so if you chose one of the others, that timestamp will also be in the description box below. So let's dive right in and see what this fall equinox is going to be bringing you. All right, all my Cancer signs, if you chose reading number 1, which is the red leaf, then this is the reading for you. And we are going to start off by pulling a card here from the Power of Surrender cards. And these are going to represent what the Creator wants you to know about what's going to be falling away out of your life during this autumn season. So let's just give these a good shuffle, and we'll see what your first card is going to be. All right, Creator, for our Cancer signs for the red leaves, what is falling away in the fall season, the autumn season? Because of course, and what's making room for, the new. So it's not about loss and like, oh gosh, there's going to be something that's going to be filling it, of course. And you've got surrender to the wisdom of your body. There's a beautiful picture there, and it says, listen to your body's message about a person or situation. If you feel physically drained or uncomfortable, be cautious. If you're energized and happy, move forward. So yeah, definitely listening to your body on what is going to be falling away. And I feel like this is what's falling away, is the resistance to trusting yourself, your intuition, your gut, listening to your body and what it is. So there's, being a Cancer sign, you're very in tune with your intuition, or you have a lot of it, I should say. Whether you want it or not, you have it. I mean, you're ruled by the moon, which is such amazing energy. So you definitely have all this gut feeling that comes around all the time, and you beat yourself up for not trusting it, because I knew it. And so during this autumn season, it's like this special connection that you're having. We'll get clarification on this too, but I really feel like it's this new awareness, this new level you're moving to in the around your intuition and your gut feeling. Sorry, let me just do a little housekeeping here. There, much better. What we're going to do is, with that movement of moving these blocks to what's keeping you from listening to your body, we're going to pull a card here from these wild unknown archetype cards, and just see what is going to be replacing it, what's going to be filling that energy that's leaving you, what's going to fill it. Of course, it seems like it would be connection to your third eye, but we shall see what the Creator wants you to know about it. All right, and one more time. right, Creator, what do you want our Cancer signs to know? That shows reading number 1. What's going to be filling that hole? What's the new that's coming into their life? What's the new that's coming in? Okay, it really fills this one right here. And you've got, it's Thanatos. And we'll read here and see what that is. That's number 73, I believe, if my Roman numerology is in it. But I love, so this web, getting attached to the web. Let's see here. Sorry, let me just find that in here in the book here. Oh, here it is. Almost at the very back. So Thanatos, so this is the death card, which is the, of course, death and transformation. So it says it's tempting to oversimplify death and sum it up as transformation, but the true archetypal resonance of Thanatos cannot be easily assimilated or contained. Death is ongoing and omnipresent, an eternal response to the gift of birth. Witnessing the ending of another being, creature, phase, or stage has deep consequences for the psyche. We are forever changed by Thanatos as it sweeps us under its wings, making us relinquish control in every form. It leaves a mark of ash upon our heart, signifying we have touched the cusp of the underworld and will return to the land of the living eventually, with more compassion and wisdom to share. With more compassion and wisdom to share when you return. This capacity is needed in our world. One who has faced the annihilation of Thanatos can face anything. And when this card appears, it signifies an initiation into the underworld. So it says there are those with a great gift for navigating Thanatos energy. Thankfully, we find these generous souls in emergency rooms, hospitals, hospice centers, and the like. Facing death leads us to truth. When you're in the light of this energy, then there is grieving, there is mourning, there is bearing witness to all that is. When you're in the darker energies, you have a fear or insensitivity to old age, illness, and dying. And to go deeper into this energy, they recommend you can read the works by Philip Larkin, Larkin, called The Mower. And what I really feel, this is kind of a weird way that this comes about, is that when you start listening to your gut and you start listening to that energy that you have within you, it does allow you to connect to the fear of death, right? To seeing beyond death and connecting to the other side. You know, when it says this is like initiation to the underworld, it's like an initiation into that it's more, I kind of feel if it's like the judgment card in the tarot. It's you seeing beyond the human ending, because when you ever do like regression therapy, which is when they take people past to their birth and take them back, there's like memories of other lives or of, you know, the higher being that you came in to be, right? Before we veiled off the memory of who we were. And then if you go beyond death, then you experience returning back to that place. And I really feel like this surrendering and falling away of not listening to your body and to that intuition and to that higher voices and whispers you hear from the other side, that this is like you're able to it's funny, but you're able to, this is like all the web of communication. This is like the tapestry, and you're able to see and connect with every thread in the communication. It's like you're literally getting on the spiritual world wide web, the heavenly wide web, where you're able to connect to so many places and so much information and so much energy from the other side, that unconditionally loving energy of love and light. And I know this, seemed like such a dark card because it's like the death card, but it really is. I feel with this message, with the combination of those two, that is a strong message with that. And we're of course going to get clarification on this. We're going to actually pull from the Wild Unknown Tarot, which is the companion deck to these archetype cards. So we'll see what else the Creator wants you to know about this energy that's coming in. And what we're going to do is we're going to pull a card that's going to represent the energy coming from the Lionsgate portal on August 8th all the way up till September 22nd when the Autumn Equinox begins. So that'll be this card here. And then this card is going to be for September 22nd to October 22nd. This one will be from October 22nd to November 21st. There's 31 days. That's why this is one day less. And this will be November 21st up till December 21st when the winter solstice begins. So that's what we're going to be pulling here. And we'll also be getting clarification from the Everyday Tarot for each of those periods. So we'll start off here. What about energies coming in from this Lionsgate portal? What energy have they been working on since August 8th all the way up to September 22nd? Okay, I feel like that was one. And then here for September 22nd. Okay, you get 2 for that. And then this is October 22nd. Okay. Let me just make some space here. There we go. And then here for November 21st, please. Okay. And then let me just get these Everyday Tarot ready because we'll get ready for clarification. Oh, there was 3 there. I thought there was only 2. Surprise, surprise. All right. So here you have the 8 of Swords. So yeah, definitely understanding your limitations. So the swords are your thoughts, your belief, your mindsets, your expectations, those types of things. And this represents, of course, here's your, even though they said, simplify it for transformation, this is the transformation. What's keeping you from transforming and to what's blocking you here is your thoughts and your beliefs and your expectations. And what you've been learning since the Lionsgate from August 8th up to this point is like, oh, I'm the one that's limiting myself because of those beliefs and expectations that I've taken on from the outside world as truth in my own. But I love that this chrysalis, this cocoon, is hanging from the one sword. The Ace of Swords is what represents truth. And so you're actually holding and connected to the truth, and that's what's going to allow you, to move on. Is these are small T truths. Literally, they're like little small T's, and this is the capital T truth that you're learning and you're going through. And so let's take a look here, and we'll pick some cards here from that Everyday Tarot and see what the Creator wants you to know about what's this truth that is going to set you free, little butterfly. You're done being a caterpillar. All right, Creator, what else do you want them to know about this energy? Nope, none of those. Okay. They said calm down. So I will calm down. Okay, so that one, none of those. Okay. What else? Anything else? Nope, they said this is going to be short and sweet for this one. Yeah, so 6 of Cups. So it's really Six of Cups is about kind of like nostalgia, right? It's about looking back over your past, all the emotions that you experienced at different phases in your life. So it's about looking back and understanding the emotions that you felt. So a lot of this truth that's coming in here is that a lot of the darker, shadowy emotions that you felt had to do with all these beliefs, all these expectations that you were told to have, and you're realizing, like, okay, I realize that that's not necessarily true, like in expectation of, when someone, for me, one of the huge ones is when someone cheats on you, it means you're worthless, that you didn't deserve, that didn't deserve to be faithful to, that evidently there was something wrong with you if they were unhappy and you couldn't make them happy and they went somewhere else. And the amazing, like the truths that come in is like, oh, anyone else's actions are about how they're feeling inside, not about anything on the outside. We make it an easier or a harder choice to make, but everyone always makes their own choices by what's going on inside them. Doesn't have to do with us. And then the other thing that I learned was that all these, because it didn't just happen once with one person, it kept repeating, and either feeling betrayed, in that way, or on how someone treated me, or how someone didn't take the time for me, whatever it was. Would it be all these expectations? I realized, they were all teachers of mine trying to tell me how I felt about myself until I saw it. And that was this beautiful, then I had beautiful butterfly wings. I was able to go, so I understand now that because I was feeling low about myself, they were going to be reflecting how I felt about myself back to me. And so it was a very transformative, thing. And I really feel like that's the type of ahas you've been getting from August 8th up to September 22nd, is you're realizing that these old emotions that are being brought forward, you're understanding them from a wholly different perspective because of that energy. And then we're definitely going to see what all this is bringing into September here for you. Okay. Yep, and this makes total sense. So you got the Wheel of Fortune. So the Wheel of Fortune, what that represents for me is that you before we come down here, as these characters that we are, we choose when we're going to be born, with this, when is this player, this avatar that I'm going to represent me in this game of life, when is that entering the game and when is it leaving the game, and what are the experiences that I'm going to experience as I go through it. And then as my human character, this avatar, it gets to decide when it hits an event whether it's going to choose an extreme fear or an extreme feeling of unconditional love, or somewhere in between. And that's that free will that we have amongst the game while we're playing it. And that's what this Wheel of Fortune represents, is that the understanding that all these cups, all these things that happened for me, not to me. And that all the emotions I experience, all these cups are the things that I wanted to experience. And that has this amazing empowerment that comes with that, because that is, what our whole journey is. And usually it'll show, in a lot of tarot cards, it'll show, like the circle, and this, we're at the top of it, and life is constantly changing. And if we don't roll with it, if we don't flow with it and just, keep moving with whatever's happening, we get, whoa, and we have to hold on for 3/4 of the time, because, when you're on top of something, you're only really upright 1/4 of the time. The rest of the time you're upside down or sideways, right? And so that really is this message of, understanding that everything was happening for you for a reason, and not happening to you, and an awareness that comes around that, so that just that whole journey continues within that Yeah, because here's the Mother of Swords. So, yeah, the Queen of Swords in other decks, but the Mother of Swords, she's very much the feminine energy attached to thought and belief and the truth. And here's that Ace of Swords. So you're really mastering your thoughts and beliefs and bringing in, it's the balance between our emotions and our thoughts, between emotion and logic. And so definitely, again, you have the wisdom of the owl. So you have the owl there as well. So definitely a lot of wisdom gleaned from all that. And that is the 10. The Wheel of Fortune is the 10, so it's endings and new beginnings as well, which death is endings and new beginnings. So I know that they said in the book that doesn't mean endings and new beginnings, but for this reading it is. Yep. Oh, yeah. And here's the spider web. So here's the web, and here's a spider web, and here's the 8 of Pentacles. And this is all about doing the work and the benefits and the abundance that comes from the work that you're doing. And it's usually about physical work, but I really feel like this journey you've been on, since this is an 8, so from 8/8, the Lionsgate date, this is really emphasizing the work that you've done on yourself in so many ways since August 8th up to this point is what's allowing you for this transformation and for this connection that you're expanding upon, because you are letting those blocks go. And the wonderful thing about when change comes with a spider, when a change comes and a part of the web gets destroyed, it goes into repair it. And if the total web gets pulled away by somebody hiking, and I'm 6'4", so, and I was the one that, all my shorter friends would be in front of me and I wouldn't even know that a spider web was coming because it was at my height and not theirs. And so, when that spider web gets destroyed, the spider doesn't get, you don't hear a spider crying, going, "Oh, my web got destroyed." It just starts webbing a new web, and it starts creating those new connections and those new things. So I really feel like what's falling away from you, and with all these old beliefs and old ways of thinking, that it's just bringing you to this beautiful new place for this connection to the other side. If you've ever been mediumship or doing readings and connecting, you definitely are getting a clear message here that you are the only one. Your beliefs are the only thing that are keeping you from being able to connect. So let all those thoughts of how things need to be, let it be flexible, let it change, because I know for me, in the organized religion I was brought up in, doing cards was demonic and satanic and of the devil. But through my evolution and transformation, I realized, the Creator can talk through anything. Everything's a double-edged sword. It depends on who's wielding it, right? Because a knife can be used to cut vegetables, to cook stuff, to give away to people, to set people free that are tied up, or to stab someone and kill them, right? Or hurt them, but it's who's wielding it. And so this is a tool of communication to the Creator. And I had to overcome that block and realize, what? I trust that I am a tool of love and light, and that what comes through me is of love and light. And that is my intention and how I use it. So it's a beautiful tool. If someone's using it to cast spells and dark, evil, unloving things, then that is what that is. But that's not how you have to use it, right? So we're going to see what else the Creator wants you to know about this month of September 22nd here. What else would you like them to know? Okay, there we go. And only one for here. You got the 7 of Pentacles, and this is about taking things a step at a time, and we can tend to grow impatient because we want it all now. We want all the fruit to be on the tree. We want the tomato plant to have ripe tomatoes, but hurry, 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 hurry. But this is about, I always have a Zen saying that I always say with this card, which is chop wood, carry water. It's do each step in the moment. Take one step at a time. And just do the very next thing and the very next thing, allowing things to unfold, because they will. They're growing. You see the blossoms. There is bounty. It's just be patient. It is coming. So be patient with yourself. Be gentle with yourself. And then October 22nd, yep, you got temperance, so balance. I love this balancing between the heavens and the earth. For me, this is also, when it shows the, in a lot of cards, it'll show the scales, and each side of the scale represents something for me. One side is our human side that, reacts and has this journey here. It's the caterpillar experience that we have walking along the jungle floor. And the other side is our higher self, our spiritual self, the real us. One being the little avatar that we're playing when we come down here, and one being the real spiritual being that's playing it. And it's this balance, understanding that the things that happen, like with the Wheel of Fortune, everything happens for a reason and because it's something we wanted to experience. And we can balance that with our connection to the higher realm, connecting to our higher self and to the whole group up there, whether it's, the Creator, the Holy Spirit or Spirit, whatever your faith is, guardian angels and spirit guides and your loved ones who've lived here in this life and have gone to the other side already, your ancestors, and I go beyond, unicorns and fairies and mermaids, or whatever you believe are these spiritual beings on the other side of unconditional love and light. You have access to them, and you can help them bring in. And this is that, I love that, it shows this beautiful fire that's burning, because that is, for me, the fire and the wands of the deck are all about our spiritual energy that we have inside, because we are these beings, these supernatural, eternal spirit beings made of unconditional love energy, of unconditional love. And that's what we are. And we come here to live this life of this human bodysuit to understand more about ourselves by experiencing what we're not. We're unlimited, we're limited, we're eternal, we're temporary. We're of love, unconditional love and joy, and here we're of fear and conditional love that we can lose, And so there's this beautiful play of opposites, and that temperance is that balance of that. Let's see what else the Creator wants you to know about that for October 22nd to November 21st. Okay, what else, Creator? This is for our beautiful Cancer signs for red leaf. Okay. Yep, so you got the Hermit, which is beautiful because this is about the path that you have when you go into solitude, you turn inward to find the light being that you really are. You realize the higher connection that you have, and that's what lights your path. So this is beautiful with what I was just talking about, because it's realizing that in the darkness of where we're at, when we connect to who we really are, we have all the brightness and all the direction that we need to move along our path. So really, I feel like this October 22nd is really understanding that balance of who you really are and seeing those opposites. And then that brings you into November 21st, which then you have the Five of Wands. And the Five of Wands can represent, they usually will show like five people battling with wands, and they'll be, all hitting each other, and they're like, at first it looks like, oh my gosh, they're in this war, but they're actually practicing. They're not in war. They're just training. They're experiencing. They're growing and learning. And so I really feel like this November 21st, especially with it being Wands and Fire, you're really learning and growing about your spiritual abilities, your spiritual understanding of things, and the big kind of, it's kind of like with this Wheel of Fortune here, every thing we come here to experience is about our growth and about our energy, our awareness, and it's like moving up in levels. It's almost like I have this, I don't know why I had this Avatar game theme, but it's like you're leveling up and you're going into another level, you know. So it's the Galaga, I don't know if you ever played that video game, but it's like when you go to another level, ding, 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 it's like I heard that in my head. You're moving up to the next one, ding, 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 and it goes 5, ding, 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 ding. You're up to level 5, and so here comes this next level. And so I really feel that for you here, and we'll of course see what else the Creator wants you to know about that period of time. But yeah, I just feel this is it, and 5 is the number of change as well. So we're definitely ready for that next step. All right, Creator, what else? Do you want them to know about November 21st to December 21st? What about this energy? What else do you want them to know? Okay, just one right here. Yep, and you have the Chariot. So this is a beautiful card, because this is about moving from another level. For the major arcana, like from 1 to 7 is all about understanding our human side and our nature and all that, and then you move to the next level, which is understanding your spiritual side, which is like 8 to 14. And so, you know, this is about ready for your next level, and that you understand the duality, you know. This is really about understanding that you have your human side and your spiritual side. You have the whole universe that's above you. It's really, this is about mastering the first 7 stages of your ego and understanding how the human side works, and that you're ready to move up into that next step and that next level. So beautiful, beautiful energy with this one coming up. And yep, that's all they wanted for that one there. Lastly, what we're going to do is we're going to pull a card here from the Wild Unknown Oracle, which is also companion to the other Wild and Unknown decks here. But this is like a spirit guide. It's going to tell you what spiritual animal, spiritual guide energy is going to be accompanying you through the entire autumn equinox period here, just to help you and be with you on this journey. So Creator, what do you want? What spirit animal is going to be with them? What energy do you want to... Whoa, okay. Not those. The golden egg? Okay. So this is the card here in the golden egg, and this is so perfect for all this. We're just going to put that over here. If I remember correctly, this is just going to be hilarious. But this is the message at the center of the heart, the unstruck sound. So within the golden egg lives a precious sound. Deep within that sound resides a message. The sound cannot be heard, nor the message discerned, until we retreat from the noise of modern day life. So like retreat, right? The magical essence of the gold's warmth, quiet and time to unfold. No rushing, pushing, or grasping. So find a place of deep and restful ease, perhaps through yoga nidra or meditation. If you do not yet have a meditation practice, take some time for introspection or contemplation. So when the mind begins to settle and the breath is calm, Ask the question that weighs heaviest on your heart, staying open to any response you hear. Engaging with the energy of the golden egg is an advanced practice. It requires becoming intimate with our very essence and comfortable with vulnerability. When a feeling of tenderness or gratitude arises from deep within you, know that you are well on your way. Your chest may swell like you're seeing an old friend that's been away for a long, long time. Listen to the message that they've been waiting to tell you. So definitely about connecting to that higher place and the messages they have for you. Because the golden egg it also relates to the fourth chakra. It says the subtle essence of the golden egg is nestled deep within the heart center at the fourth chakra. It's the home of the self or the soul. By bringing the mind into this center, we discover a portal to the most intimate and luminous space. It's said our inner guide sits there in deep meditation waiting for us. And this chakra is called Anahata, which also translates as the unstruck sound. So that's so perfect because, it's the messages that your true self, your higher self is longing to tell you, that whole group on the other side that's wanting to tell you. So beautiful energy here. I'm loving this for you because, yes, you're finally going to be surrendering to the wisdom of your body, especially with these, like I said, the owls that were here for you really talks about the wisdom that you're gleaning and the connection that you're having to the other side here, especially, when it's saying to take time alone and get to know the real you, the heavenly you, that star being, that bright light, being of light that you are, because that just helps moving into this next level to where you can the noise level goes down, all that noise level from the outside goes down, and your those whispers of love that you hear within you from above is what brings you that clarity, the message that you're wanting, and bringing you the love that you've been searching for as well. The golden egg. Beautiful, beautiful. And just know as you go throughout this entire autumn that every second of every day you are unconditionally loved by the Creator of all things, and I love you too. So you have an amazing autumn, and we will talk with you soon. You take care. All right, my Cancer signs, if you chose reading number 2, which is the orange leaf, then this is the reading for you. And we're going to start off by pulling a card here from the Power of Surrender cards, and that's going to be telling you what the Creator wants you to know about what's falling away during this period of time. So let's see what your first card is here. Let's see what the Creator wants you to know about what's falling away. Making room for the new, which we'll talk about in a sec too. So we, of course, don't want things just to fall away and we're left with nothing, right? We want something to replace that, which we will talk about. So no fret. All right, Creator, for those that chose the orange leaf reading for our Cancer signs, what do you want them to know? Okay, I feel like that's the one there. And you got surrender stress. Take a deep breath. Yep, take a few deep breaths and exhale the tension you've built up in your body. Let the stress go as you come back to your center. So definitely letting stress go is a beautiful, beautiful message. And I'm sure we're all on board with that. So we will find, of course, out how that comes about and what replaces that stress. You might have been so attached to a stressful life that has become a part of you, and you may not be wanting to let that go because you enjoy the drama, you enjoy the stress, you enjoy the adrenaline rush, right? But let's see what, if you let that stress go, what the Creator wants you to know or replace that for this autumn equinox period. So Creator, what do you want them to know about what replaces that stress? got to be worth their while, you know. Okay, that's the one right there. And you got the seed. So wonderful. I love that image. So also see the ripple effect that'll have on your life will be an amazing thing. And let me just get to the right page here. But that definitely the new seeds will be planted, new things will happen. You'll have a more bountiful garden when there's not a lot of trampling going through it, right? I just feel like this. You ever see those Zen gardens where they have a stone in the middle and it's so perfectly, perfectly done. There's no footprints or anything in it. It's just like so serene, and that's kind of what I feel, comes with that too, is this beautiful serenity. From the book here, it talks about this is the beginning, the origin, the pearl. Beginnings come in many forms, and they're not always a beautiful seed placed intentionally in nourishing soil. Origin stories, like a birth story, are complex, surprising, multi-layered, and usually reveal a center image or detail that represents the fully formed being. Simply stated, the end is present in the beginning, or the entire oak tree resides within the acorn. Whether you follow this imaginal theory or not, know that when this card appears, there is potent generative energy all around. It stirs your very insides and usually results in an antsy, impatient feeling. But pay particular attention to what agitates you, as it is a sure sign of growth to come. You're bumping up against a growth edge. It is from the grit that the pearl eventually comes to be. So the true seed is elusive. If we follow any story towards its origin, it spirals farther and farther back in time. In this way, we are always the seed and always the fruit it bears. One of the alchemist's favorite images was the pearl. The irritant over time becomes the treasure. What is your grit? What was stressing you out? And what is it going to be bringing you? We're going to dig into this more to find out. But when you're in the light side of this energy, you're generative, fertile, germinating, building. But when you're in the dark side of the energy, you're festering, stewing, and dormant. It recommends, if you want to go deeper into this energy, you can read James Hillman's Acorn Theory in the Soul's Code. So, little bit of adventure if you want to do that. I'm there. But like I said, we're going to dig deeper into this and find out what else the Creator wants you to know. And we're going to be pulling cards here from the Wild Unknown Tarot, which is a deck that's related to the Wild Unknown, of course, archetype cards. Okay. And what we're going to do is we're going to pull a card here that's going to represent the energies that you're coming in with into the autumn period. And that's going to be from the Lionsgate portal that happened on August 8th, which I talked about in the intro, up until September 22nd, which is when the autumn equinox begins. And then we're going to pull a card here that's going to represent the energies from September 22nd up to October 22nd. And we'll pull a card here for October 22nd up to November 21st. It's one day less because there's 31 days in October. And then a card for November 21st to December 21st when the winter solstice begins. So that's what we're going to do here. So Creator, for up until from the Lionsgate up to here, what do you want them to know about that period of time? What energy are they bringing in to the autumn equinox period? Okay. So you got two coming in there. What about for November 22nd? Okay. What about October 22nd? And then November 21st, please. And then we are going to be pulling like clarification cards from this Everyday Tarot as well. So, all right. So for the energies coming in from the Lion's Gate, let's see here. So you've got the Four of Wands. So yeah, definitely a positive energy, because usually the Four of Wands, like when you put them all together, they make like a tent or a strong table. So this wand is about the energy. So you're coming in with this stabilized energy, which is great, because with the stress, you're understanding the roots of your stress, and you're not feeling like you're out of whack with your energy levels. You're not feeling like your fire is burning you up. You feel like this balanced energy that's coming in. Yeah, well, of course, because temperance is about balance. So yeah, so you definitely have this beautiful, wonderful flow of balance that's coming in. The Temperance card also represents for me this understanding of the two sides of life, because usually it has like a scale. One side is your physical human experience, the other is your higher spiritual experience. And so there's this beautiful just flow in between both of those worlds. And so this energy that was coming in from the Lion's Gate has really brought you this beautiful fire energy within, which represents your spiritual side. So you really are understanding that side of you so much more than you ever have. And let's see what else the Creator has to say about that energy there. So I just feel like we're gonna be talking about your stress and how you're converting that, and so seeing things from a higher perspective, from your spiritual viewpoint, of course, definitely impacts that. Okay, what else do you want? Anything else? Nope. So it's just one card here. Yeah. So Two of Pentacles. That's exactly what I was talking about too. For me, it's always the higher balancing with the lower, and this cycle and this balance. I almost said it's like the infinity symbol. It's the cycle that we go through in experiencing the heavenly side, and we come in the spiritual side. I mean, the earthly side, and we, it's this kind of ebb and flow that we go through, because we don't want to just be stuck in one. And this beautiful balance in between the two. So really, this is bringing in that awareness that there are two of you living inside of you. You have your human side, that's the character that you're playing during this movie that you're in here. But you have this spiritual actor who's behind the character that's eternal and goes on forever. And that understanding that balance between the two is that energy, this wonderful balance that you're coming in with. So yeah, and so coming into September then, yeah, because you have this Nine of Swords, which you're like, oh my gosh, eyeballs and all this. It's usually the nightmare card or insomnia card. You have all these swords are your thoughts and your beliefs and your mindsets. And so it's all those expectations, all those things that are keeping you up at night that aren't unfolding the way you want them to. So it's keeping you up because all these things in the outside world are not unfolding as they should or supposed to or need to or have to. All those expectations we've been taught. And that's where stress comes from. So this does represent stress, don't you say? And it's 9, the number 9. The 10 of Swords usually shows someone like face down in the dirt with all the swords stabbed in their back, and that's when you're ultimately exhausted. And the 10 is about, I'm done with this. It's endings and new beginnings, and you're ready to move on to new things. So this is definitely saying that, you're ready. You have this wonderful balance coming in, but you do understand the stress level that you have, and you're ready and willing to let go. Let's see what else the Creator wants you to know about this energy from September 22nd to October 22nd. What else do you want them to know about this energy or that month? So you got the 5 of Swords. So yeah, it's Five of Swords again, you got swords again with thoughts and expectations and everything else, and you see how this person's walking away. And so you're feeling this kind of mixed bag of emotions, like you, did you want to be right, or did you want them to stay in your life? And you're like, I wanted to be right. And they're like, I'm done feeling like a loser. I'm out. It's kind of like that. I won the battle, but I lost the war. And so it's this feelings of, loss in your life, the feelings of just like, you can't win. It's like you can't win for losing, which is interesting. I can't, if I lose, I don't win. If I win, I still lose. And all this confusion and everything just really comes in here with this nine of swords as well. What else do you want them to know about that? Okay. Yes. Okay. So Page of Swords. So this is beautiful. This is so perfect for the solution for this stress and this anxiety and these confusing emotions here is you have the Page of Swords. He holds the Ace of Swords, which is the bringer of truth. He's the messenger of truth. You can see he is dressed like Mercury. So he's the one that's bringing the new truth, the capital T truths, and the understanding of things. He also is the one that cuts the ties, cuts those expectations, cuts those things away that no longer serve you, those beliefs and these thoughts and all these expectations that are causing all that stress. Those things fall away. And because you have this new awareness that you have. And so you're like, yeah, those things aren't necessarily true, are they? Wait a minute. And it's this whole release. It's like you don't even have to go to the 10 of swords, because the 9 plus this 1 is what releases you from all that stress, all that anxiousness, anxiety, all that importance and energy attached to the outcomes of all those expectations of how things should be. And then that brings you into your October, which is the 6 of Pentacles. And this is beautiful because it is about what you're it's the give and receive card, is basically what it is. So not only are you moving, from these old thoughts and these old expectations, it's changing your relationships from where you feel you have to be the only one giving, and not receiving. It becomes this beautiful relationship where it's not, 3 pentacles giving to the other 3. It's about equal balance back and forth, giving and receiving back and forth. And this usually for me is like the codependency card. We have, and I admit, and I'm, being forthright, I am a recovering enabler in codependent relationships. So I get this side of it here, how we feel that if I'm not able to give, then I'm worthless, because that's what we're told from the outside. If I'm not such an important piece and almost a lifeline for the other person, they don't need me and they're going to leave me for someone else, because usually we have a low feeling of our worth, right? But the other side of it is, if we don't allow them to give and they can only receive from us, the people down here, it's like a parent-child relationship. And if it's an adult relationship, which is a beautiful giving back and forth, that's, healthy, and everyone feels the joy of giving and the blessing of receiving. In this one, we feel the joy of giving and kind of resentment because we're drained and we have nothing else to give. This person, they can't give to us because we won't receive it, so they don't feel good about themselves. I mean, how can you not feel good about yourself if you're if all I can do is receive from you? I can't even show anyone anything and feel that joy of giving, right? So in those types of relationships, the one on the bottom usually ends up going outside of that relationship to people who will accept what they want to give. So sometimes that's a fair, sometimes that's they pour themselves into their work or into a sport or into a hobby or to their friends. It's usually something outside of it where they can feel, where they can give, where people will accept what they have to give, right? So this freedom and awareness that comes from all this is what this is showing, is that you're becoming aware of that dynamic that you have in your relationships, and it's freeing you, because that is a source of a big source of your stress, right? We'll see what else the Creator wants you to know about this October 22nd to November 21st period. All right, Creator, what else do you want them to know about that period of time there? Whoa. Wow. You can't see that on screen very well, but it is standing straight up. Okay, anything else? That is crazy. Yeah. So the Hermit. So this is really connecting you to yourself. It's about taking a step back, taking time for you, nurturing you, and connecting to the real you. You know, this little bright being in the lantern that's helping guide the path in the night is you, your higher self, your being, that supernatural being that we were talking about here. So it's really about making sure you're taking time to connect to that and understand that. Yeah, and then you have the Devil. So don't freak out. This is a good card. This is your shadow. So as you experience this, and I imagine this is what's going to be happening with your relationships, our shadow is the one that brings to our face the things that are binding us and keeping us chained and held back. And so it's a gift that that it brings, even though don't feel like it at the time. But what happens is they will bring to our face, like right to our face, those things that are binding us so that we can remove them. The card that comes after this is the Tower, which is what gets removed out of our life to make room for us, for the new things, and for us to move on to the things that we wouldn't be able to experience if that block was still there. So it is a gift that it says, hey, just so you know, a little hint, what I'm presenting you, in your life is this codependency right here. And I'm keeping you in this loop. I'm just letting you know that I'm doing that. Wink, wink. So that's like us going, oh, I can do something about that. It's like in a type of video game where they give you the cheat code, or this is how you get past that. It's like they let you know, first of all, that's an obstacle, and this is how you can get around it. So what happens with that type of message that comes is you will see it in like 5 relationships, or you'll hear about, it doesn't necessarily need to be your relationships, but it's like maybe your friends. Like one friend is having this issue where they feel resentful and the other person is cheating on them. This person is resentful because they're always the one giving, and that person is not paying attention to anymore. They're all focusing on their job. This one is doing that. It's like all the same type of situation where you're like, I think I see a pattern, and that's what this energy brings for you. And then, with that Hermit, taking that step back and taking that step away from things allows you to see things more clearly as well and make that transformation. So I love that. And then that brings that energy, that's the next step that brings you into November 21st, which is the Fool card, which is, for me, it can represent new beginnings as well, because especially like the 0, this is a huge 0, but you see the little duckling there, and for me, it's the soul, it's your higher self, it's that new birth that we go through, but really for me it's a huge spiritual card for me, because it's that soul that before you come down here that chooses the life that you want to have unfold. You still have your free will within it all to choose between what is it going to be an extreme fear you're going to experience, or an extreme unconditional love emotion, or something in between. You get to decide that, but before you come down you do choose where you're going to live, where you're going to be born, to who, and a lot of all the major events that happen in our lives up until our death scene, until this character plays dead and moves off stage, right? And so this is very much about, this moves you into this connection to you, which of course starts with this hermit experience too, or continues on, because you've really been having that energy come in here with these cards. So this is just more awareness that you're building and building and building, and a real big attachment to your higher self there. For me, it's like the King of Wands is that energy. For me, the Magician has a lot of that energy for me. Let's see what else the Creator wants you to know about this period of time here. What else do you want them to know about the November 21st to December 21st? Okay, all three of these. Okay, or the Strength card. This is a huge thing. So for me, what this card represents, it's totally hilarious, because I was trying to think of what was the other card, and it was the Strength card. So this represents like our human side of us, right? The hungry animal that is searching from the outside of us for its sustenance, its food and its water. But anything that it eats in the external world is temporary. It goes right through them, and it doesn't satisfy them. So they end up being this, loud growling lion in the jungle, making a lot of noise. Well, this represents our higher self. You can see the infinity symbol. She's our higher self. She's coming down to calm down the lion. And she's not doing it by caging it or stabbing it with a knife, trying to kill it, or trying to beat it into submission with a chair and whip, like they always show. Because what the lion is really searching for is love. And what it gets on the outside world is conditional, temporary love. But what your higher self brings to you is unconditional love from the Creator of all things, because it is made of unconditional love. So come down and give it a little hug, and turns it from this roaring lion in the jungle to a purring kitten. And so this connection, like we're talking about here, just a bond and a connection between your higher self and your human self that you gain during this period here. Yep, and the Knight of Cups. So cups are about emotions. Knight of Cups, I really feel, is about movement in your loving action. So putting your love, all this love that you're receiving, you're putting it into action, where a lot of this was internal work. This is like those ripples that are coming out from this seed. These are the ripples of love you're filling up, and it's flowing to those that are outside of you. So this could be where you're deciding new ways of, how do I want to express my unconditional love to the world? How am I going to do that? And that's putting that into action. Yep. And then the Sun. It's another beautiful, brilliant card. Here you are. You went from the little star there to this bright star. But it's about success. It's about feeling full and whole and warmth. You are carrying the Ace of Wands here, which is your spiritual energy. And just your ability. It reminds me of the Magician, where the Magician holds a wand to the heavens and a hand to the ground, and the wand allows the energy, like a lightning rod, from the heavens to come through and come out to the world. And so I just feel like this is that you're discovering all this internal beautiful stuff, overcoming your stress, understanding how these beliefs and everything moved into your external world, and with all that connection you're making and the releasing that you're doing with the falling away of things, it just brings in this beautiful, beautiful flow of love from you outside of the world. So no longer this stress person trying to control everything in the outside world to try to feel safe. You actually have this connection where you're allowing it to flow out to the world. And people, definitely, the Sun card too tells me that people notice it. People see you. You literally brighten the room when you walk in it here, whereas before people would scatter because like, oh, here we go. They're going to tell me everything I should be doing now. It's like recovering control freak. And then this loving soul who's accepting and not stressed, and people are like attracted to it instead of running from it. No offense. I've been there. I'm a recovering control freak too. I can relate. And then lastly, we're going to pull a card here from the Wild and Unknown Animal Spirit deck. And so this is like what spirit animal or spiritual energy is going to be around you for this entire time to help you with this process. So let me just shuffle these up here and we'll see what animal, what energy is going to be with you to help you through this wonderful autumn equinox period here for you. I mean, to be stress-free. Breathe. Greater, what energies do you want them to? Whoa, okay. A lot of energy. They're a little slippery, but this one, the camel, is the one that made itself known here. And I love the moon coming up here. We just had a blue moon back on August 22nd, which brought in some amazing Aquarian energy as well. So let me grab the book here and we'll see what this camel energy brings you. So the camel, resourceful, independent, knows oneself, right? The capital S self. The camel can handle absolutely anything as it carries a wealth of nourishment within. This wondrous creature is self-reliant and handles challenges with ease. Even in the face of excess heat, judgment, or anger, the camel searches inside for the cool elixir of water to calm the situation. The camel represents the ultimate form of bringing opposites into balance, fire and water, and being responsible for one's own reactions. The camel is a wonderful traveler and is especially fond of trips to faraway lands. So when you're in balance, calm, content, you have a sparkle in your eye. When you're out of balance, you're dehydrated and you lack vitality. And to bring it into balance, it says, take a pilgrimage. So whether that's an internal pilgrimage or an outer pilgrimage is up to you. But this camel energy and this camel spirit guide is totally capable of balance and understanding everything that you're about to go through, that understands having the inner worth and the inner power, dealing with the external heat and anger and everything else. So definitely call upon your camel guide and enjoy your pilgrimage. So just know as you go throughout your autumn that every second of every day you are unconditionally loved by the Creator of all things, and I love you too. You have an amazing autumn, and we will surely talk to you soon. You take care. All right, all my Cancer signs, if you chose reading number 3, which is the yellow leaf, then this is the reading for you. And we're going to start off by pulling a card here from the Power to Surrender cards. And this is going to represent what the Creator wants you to know about what is falling away for you during this autumn equinox period. So that's what we're going to start off with here. Just give them a good shuffle. All right, Creator, what do you want our Cancer signs to know that shows reading number 3, the yellow leaf? Okay, I feel like this is the one that is calling our name. And you got surrender and denial. So you can no longer be queen of denial. Here's the beautiful taking off the blindfolds. And it says, accept people and situations exactly as they are without denying the difficulties. Then you can see things clearly and make the best decision. So yeah, allowing denial to fall away is going to be the autumn theme. And we're going to pull a card here because as that denial moves away, it's going to be leaving a space of energy for you And this is the wild unknown archetype. We're just going to see what's going to replace that energy from denying things. What's going to come into its place. Okay, just one more time here. All right, Creator, what do you want our Cancer signs to know? What's going to replace that energy as they release that denial of things and see truths? Okay, so it's going to be this one here. You got the vow. I love that beautiful picture. And yeah, it's the yellow. It's like a yellow leaf, right? Yeah, and this one was yellow too. Hilarious. Hilarious. Just noticed that. All right, and then let's see what this card brings in. So the vow, this is about the promise, the oath, the contract. So when the vow is spoken, the air shifts, karmic ties are formed, and destiny tilts on its axis. Our worlds and intentions have immense power. There's a reason the great mythic stories of our past often include the recitation of oaths and the mixing of drops of blood as a mark of union. The tricky part is that reciting the vow, no matter how casually, activates the eternal and unseen forces of the world. The ancestors bear witness, the laws of nature respond. These promises cannot be unsaid or forgotten, so breaking them can leave lingering complexities and loose ends. This card calls us to acknowledge the vow we are living by consciously or unconsciously, and either recommit to it or create a ritual that signifies its closure. You've been underestimating the power of your promises. And I love that in conjunction with surrendering denial. And I really feel, I mean, this is a general reading, so you can be on either side of it, but I really feel for a majority of you, it's that you're on the side of broken promises and that you keep making excuses for those that are breaking promises. And that's what where this denial is that, well, I understand why they cheated on me that time, but we're working on that, or, that they said they were going to pay me back that money, but they haven't. But I understand, they're going through this and that and da-da-da-da-da. There's all these things of these vows and these promises that you've made to each other, and people aren't living up to those promises. And so that is what is being brought to you here. And I love that this is talking about, once you face that truth and you stop denying what's happening, you either end the vow or you reignite and recommit to the vow. So it says, think of the last promise you made. Was it to yourself or another? Has it been upheld or broken? Anytime the energy of the vow is present, we're in the archetypal realm of ceremony and ritual. That means time stands still and anything is possible. So when you're in the light of this energy, you're bearing witness to the shift towards destiny. When you're in the dark side of this energy, you have unconscious vows, unkept promises, messy karma. So to go deeper into this energy, it says, learn the yamas. It's YAMAS. It's the 5 vows of the seeker. So if you're interested in that and that resonates, check it out. But I really feel this is so much about the, these vows that aren't being kept, and you're in denial of it. You're ready to fall away. The denial's falling away. The unkept vows will either fall away or you'll recommit to them and keep them. But this is the time, as they say, to poop or get off the pot. And then, we're going to be pulling a card here from the Wild Unknown Tarot. This is this deck is an accompanying deck of these archetype. And we're just going to be asking the Creator for 4 cards or 4 groups of cards here. The first is going to represent the energies that are coming in to the autumn equinox from the Lionsgate portal that happened on August 8th up to September 22nd. And so this is going to be the energy that's coming in there. And then we'll pull a card here that represents the energies for September 22nd up to October 22nd. And then a card for October 22nd up to November 21st. It's one day less because of the 31 days in October. And that's November 21st up to December 21st, which is the winter solstice. So get one more shuffle here, and we'll see what creator do you want them to know about the energy that they're coming in with from the Lionsgate portal up to September 22nd. What do you want them to know about that energy? And then September 22nd. Okay, there's 2 for that. And then October 22nd. And November 21st, please. Okay. And then we are going to be pulling clarifying cards for each of these periods too from these everyday tarot when we get to that point there. So the energy that you're coming in with is the death card, which is so death and rebirth. Definitely you are ready for change. All this awareness that you've been dealing with from August 8th all the way up to this point, you're just like, yeah, I'm ready for these unkept vows to die and rebirth to happen. They're either going to be rebirthed or let go. But either case, you are so ready for change. Definitely. Yeah, and it's like the vows are just, you're like, you know what? The old vows are outdated. We're taking new ones. And doesn't mean marriage vows, of course, not just those, but it's about promises, about relationships, expectations, all those spoken and unspoken things. A lot of clarity here. Creator, what else do you want them to know about this energy that's coming in from the Lionsgate all the way up till September 22nd, please? What else about this death card? Okay. Yeah. So Queen of Swords. Swords are about mindsets, thoughts, beliefs, attitudes. And, she's the Queen of Swords because she's bringing in, see how she's sitting on the throne of cups here. So she's realized that just by living by the word of the law or the vow hasn't worked. It's about the emotions and the balance of it. So I love this because it shows her that she's still holding on to her truths and her vows, but she's also open to receiving new things. So definitely the energy that comes in with this is like, yep, you're ready. You're like, you see, it's all making sense now. It's like, well, technically they're doing what they said they would do, but you're like, yeah, but the intent behind the vow is not being met, even though they're by the letter of the law they are, but you're like, but the intention behind it's not there. And that's what you're grasping with this. And then we'll see what energy comes in here with the for September 22nd. Yeah, I mean, you've got the Mother of Pentacles here, which is like Mother Nature, Mother Nurture, and you can see, Mama and little Bambi. I know death comes to Mother here, and that's the message here is that there's endings coming to be, and I am not always going to be the one that's the nurturer. I need to receive as well, and this is a lot about self-nurturing, self-care, taking care of you, and being grateful for what you do have in your life. But I really feel for this reading, it really has a lot to do with, I don't have to be the one that's the caregiver all the time, the one that's always to give in, the one that's always forgiving, the one that's always, the one that's sacrificing themselves. It's time for you to have your interest in mind, and to be thankful for what you do have in your life. So it's not this ugly feeling around it. It's this beautiful, you know what? I'm going to take time to nurture me, and this is what I need for me. And so we're revisiting, this whole practice here. And then you have the Chariot, which this is all about choices, black and white, choices. And it's going to be easy for you to make those. And a really strong message, especially with this bright sun here, this is about, and with this moon, attaching to a higher place, a higher point of view, and the decisions that have been made. Trust your gut, trust your intuition, trust your heart, in this information that's coming here. I really feel like when it's these, and that's with these making these decisions about, am I going to renew this vow, this commitment, or is it done? And if it's not a hell yes, that I want to continue this and do this, then it's a no, because then it's just guilt keeping you in a situation that you don't want to be in. And so whatever it is, trust your gut and your heart, and find out what is the passion what you really want to live, right? What you really want to do. And and we'll see what else the creator wants you to know about that. Sorry, I was distracted because I was noticing that he's a pentacle around his neck, and there's one pentacle here. So there's definitely this correlation between the two there that was jumping out of me, and I was having a discussion in my head whether I was supposed to talk about that or not. Obviously I was, because that's what I just did. So we'll see what else the creator wants you to know about this September 22nd to October 22nd, please. Okay. Any others? Okay. So you got the Death card again. So yeah, there's definitely endings. And I really feel that it's not, don't feel guilty about it, because you also have the Knight of Cups, which is about putting your love into action, putting your inner love into action. And so definitely with the Death card appearing here again, it's about endings, really ending things that no longer serve you, no longer you want in your life. And it happens quite a lot where people don't want to be the one to be blamed for the ending of a relationship. And even though the other person wants the relationship to end too, and if you're sometimes I have to be the adult and I have to end the thing, right? And then they're like, oh my God, they hurt me, and and that's what they need to go through to get the attention that they want or whatever. But secretly, they're very happy that the relationship ended, but they need to be able to get the attention that they want by acting like a victim and getting, all that sympathy and, oh, you poor thing, from other people. When really they wanted also the relationship to end, and they find out in the future, even if they thought they didn't want it to end, they realized later they learned a lot through the relationship and ending the relationship and finding out what they really want in life, and both parties end up being happier, unless they again re-enter a relationship with the same type of person to relearn and really learn that lesson about how they feel about themselves, right? Because that's what our vows teach us too. The vows we take with other people are the vows we really want for ourselves. I want you to be faithful to me. I want me to be faithful to me. And how am I not being faithful to myself, right? It's like, okay, me trying to get my love from outside of me is me betraying me, and I'm not being faithful to myself. I get to find that within me. And I see that all over the place in here too, with she's sitting on the Ace of Cups, one cup here. This knight is bringing, he has the one cup here. And so all of that is telling me about the Ace of Cups is the chalice. It's the Holy Grail. It's the vessel that holds the unconditional love of the creator of all things. That's what we're truly searching for. That is connection to the higher realm, to our true heart that we find within us. That's where we find the unconditional love we can find in here from the creator through our higher self, but out here is conditional love. That's the one that's the vow can't be kept because they can't give us what we're wanting. We can only find that within. So big, beautiful revelation with that, which brings you into October 22nd, which you have the Empress, which is beautiful because this is the Empress is like new birth. It's about freedom. Nature is very much this place that doesn't have restriction on it. Nature has its laws, but it's very, very flowing out there. When you go out into nature, away from all the busyness and all the society saying everything has to be and all these rules and laws and all the supposed tos and shoulds and need tos and have tos, and you just go out in nature and you go, it is what it is. And there's this freedom and this flow that comes with that, and creativity too, because you're just open and connected to the universe. We'll see what else the creator wants you to know about this period of time here too. But yeah, freedom. Okay. So I got that one. Anything else? Okay. Anything else? Okay, last pass. Nope. Okay. Yep, so you have the Queen of Wands. So you got the Queen of Swords, you have the Queen of Pentacles, you have the Queen of Wands. And this is all about, the little kitty, she's our protector. So she's protecting us from the other things. The Queen brings in, in each one of these is that feminine, nurturing side. And so it's definitely this message of making sure you're nurturing you. I mean, the Empress as well is like the Queen of Pentacles, which I totally spaced that until this card helped remind all that is that, this is like Mother Nurture as well. And this is nurturing, where this is the swords is your nurturing your thoughts, your beliefs, your mindsets. The Pentacles is about your physical body and your life. So nurturing you, your body, your life. And this is your drive, your ambitions, but also your spirit. So making sure you're nurturing your spiritual self. Let's see what else this is here. Yeah, because then you have the Queen of Wands, you have the Five of Wands. And this is about moving up to another level in your spiritual side, which makes total sense with everything that we were talking about with this, the chalice, and connecting to that unconditional love. It's about you realizing what you're really searching for is from within you. You have this beautiful, beautiful place, and this new vow sounds like it's going to be to yourself, right? To your own self be true. And then you come into the Daughter of Cups. So this is the Page of Cups in regular tarot as well. And you can see it's a little duckling. And I love that it's looking at its shadow and its understanding and seeing its higher self and its reflection. So it's seeing higher, which again, here's the Ace of Cups, because the Page of Cups is like new love, new levels of love, which totally, so as I was exactly saying there, this is about finding this higher love within you. Yeah, your life becomes less black and white and full of color, kind of like when the Wizard of Oz, when they move from the black and white into the Technicolor. Your life just changes into this whole new viewpoint. And we're going to pull, of course, additional cards here from November 21st to December 21st. And one more time. All right, Creator, what else for this period of time here? Anything else? Okay. So you had the Five of Cups pull out, so this is a great message because it shows you that these are the things on the outside world, the spilt cups that feel empty and that didn't fulfill you. So these unkept vows, these expectations that weren't met, these disappointments that you've had. And the transition is that you get to turn over here and turn around and see that you do have these full 2 cups, which are the cups that are full of living water. And you get to go across this bridge that takes you to this beautiful palace that is full of more, cups are emotions, so full of abundance and more that you could ever do. And the 5 is, the number of change. So it's this change that you are experiencing in your emotional state because of all this. Yeah. And then you have the 2 of Wands. So where the Ace of Wands is like a new step into your spiritualness, you have 2 wands here, which you see the world in a whole new way. Literally, she's looking at the world and you see it in a whole new way. And because of all this change that's coming and I really feel like, I know it's a general reading, but for a majority of you, you're ending things. These vows, you're done. You're like, you know what? I don't want to renew this. I'm ready to end that subscription, and because of that, it opens up this whole new world to you. So you're making new plans, between November 21st and December 21st, you're making new plans for your life, whether it's job, relationship, moving home. You're making plans for changes that are happening because your intentions and your vow to yourself has changed. Yay. Yep. And then you have, it ends with the 4 of Wands, which is hilarious that we've been talking about marriage and the vows and all this. And this is like a ceremony, like the marriage, like usually can mean, like the card can mean like marriage and some sort of type of celebration. But I really feel like this is like, with or without a marriage, you are celebrating your life and you're celebrating what is there and the new possibilities that are to come. The 4 wands make a very solid foundation, like a table with 4 legs. It's a very firm, very beautiful energy that's coming in your life. And lastly, what we're going to do is we're going to pull a card here from the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit deck. And this is like the oracle. It's like your spirit guide or the spirit guide energy that's going to be with you through this entire process here for autumn. Like which spirit guide animal is going to be with you? All right, Creator, what do you want them to know about the spirit guide that's going to be with them, accompanying them, assisting them on this path? Okay. You got the fox. The fox is wise. So and it's yellow too. That's hilarious. So we're going to put that right here. And let's see what energy the fox brings. Sorry, they're not in alphabetical order. Okay, there we go. So yeah, smart, strong partner or mate, wise teacher. So the fox is an enchanting creature with plenty of mystique to go around. Fox personalities are skillful in business and also make great teachers. They are quick to learn and adapt. They're quick to learn and adapt well to new situations. Foxes are ideal life partners as they commit to relationships for the long term, and their natural charisma keeps things exciting. Fox energy helps us stay true to those most dear to us. You can't make this up. You can't. When this card appears, reconnect to those you love. Foxes don't do well when they slip away. When in balance with this energy, you're magical, you're an ingenious teacher, you're monogamous. When you're out of balance, you're sneaky and unsure of your identity. And to bring this energy into balance, it's partnership, connection. Woo! I just love it. I just can't make this up. That's why I love doing this live on video where, it's uninterrupted. You see the cards come out and the messages that all unfold, because things just are like crazy, death card twice and just everything. But definitely, this is about choosing partnership with someone you love that you can trust. But it really, at the core of it, it's about trusting yourself, and having yourself be this person that you choose, right? But this fox energy, this fox spirit guide is going to be with you and has the ability, because it knows what trust and truth and vows and everything is. It mates for life, right? And it's monogamous, right? So it's going to accompany you and be your reminder. So if fox come across your road, on TV, wherever foxes show up, just realize this is the guide that's helping you, and it's a reminder to reflect into this energy of the fox spirit. It's crazy. I love it, love it, love it. But just know, as you are going through each day of this autumn period, that like this Ace of Cups, you are unconditionally loved by the Creator of all things. And I love you too. Have an amazing autumn, and I'll surely talk to you soon. You take care.